Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hello, everyone. What's happening, good people? What's going on this Saturday? Well, in Chicago, it's kind of busy. It was kind of warm today. It was in the 40s. You heard me. It was in the 40s. It was kind of warm today. Yeah, for real. Well, at least that's how we look at it. But the weather was clear, so I'm glad about that. And it's a little busy out there downtown. They were protesting, and then they were blocking off some things because of the protesters, and then they have something going on tomorrow. I forgot what it was. I glanced at the poster. It's something they have every year. I just really don't pay much attention. I just try not to run into it because I used to always kind of like go to certain stores downtown on Sunday because that's the first day of the sale. And sometimes I will forget because I have my mind set, okay, let me go get this, let me go get that. And I look up and I'm like, oh no, they done got the streets blocked off and I don't want to hear none of that. They have that Mickey Mouse Fest or whatever. It's a bunch of the dominant society have money to contribute to a lot of this stuff, so I don't really pay much attention to it. But to each his own. Do your thing, do your thing. But other than that, I hope you are doing well. I hope your weekend is going well. And like I said, you all gonna spend them checks for that food for Thanksgiving. I know you're going to. I know you're complaining because you went there. You like how much? Oh no! But I just laughed because I talked to a friend today and she said, "Girl, I went to the store and I was gonna get some stuff and I looked at the price." She said, "Oh no, I put that down." I forgot what it was. It was something that's normally $4 and something. It was six something a pound. Oh, I can't remember what she said it was, but like I said, the prices were going up and nothing we can do about it. Even the tissue and water, that's getting a little scarce now because people are getting ready. So that way they have stuff already for they don't have to go out in snow and slush and all of that. And I understand. That's how I do it too. I be prepared. But sometimes I like to get a little extra. That's just how I do it. Well, everyone, without further ado, you know what to do. Go ahead and greet the lady. Just go ahead and stand up. Wave your hand. Where you at, Danteezy? Come on. Get your hands up.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there. Okay. I'll stay down. Fine. You don't have to ask me twice, girl, with a hit like that. Y'all know how we do over here in the midnight hour in the winter in the north because it's like oh no, sorry, what did you say? It's 40 degrees?
It was 44 earlier. It's now 46 right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So basically, then your tears won't freeze on your face yet, but they'll get
Yes.
very, very cold. Perfect. And of course, the sun goes away at like 3. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's bright times. It's bright times. That's why y'all need to come over here. We are your spot of sunshine, right? With the 4 hours of daylight we got going on. You guys got to come here for your sunshine because we got sunshine, especially Shar. Shar, you are my sunshine today. How are you doing this lovely Saturday midnight?
I am doing well. How about you?
Girl, I can't even lie. I don't know what it is. Listen, okay? I was not in the mood for it today. Name whatever it is. All of it. Just it.
Okay.
You know, it's one of those days you're just like, it. Maybe it's because of all of the white tears be winning that's been happening this week. Some of
Yeah.
y'all know the big one, and of course I'm going to talk about it. And then there's kind of like some interesting white tears be winning. I'm telling you, I was thinking about it, Shar. We should have a segment called "White Tears Be Winning." Hashtag White Tears Winning. Because I'm like, yo,
Write that down. I don't have a pen next to me. Write that down,
right?
girl.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Because I'm telling you, White Tears Winning, amazing. I know. I know. Trust me. I have a little mini segment of White Tears Winning for y'all today. Because
Okay.
some of it y'all know. Some of it you'll be like, all right, that makes sense. And some of it you're gonna be like, what the when did that happen? Where was I? Oh yeah, I got one of those for you. So it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I was laughing around all the stuff I see in the YouTube streets, and I'm like, let me find something a little light today.
Mhm.
Let's see what I got. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Oh, and a lot of stuff have ads. Oh, I'm gonna be a little. Well, I have to get
Mm.
over it. I have to get over it.
I guess I'll have to get over it, right?
Right,
What
that's
else
all I
can you
can
do?
do. And there is one thing that's I'm not going to like, but I want to go ahead and talk about it.
Mm.
I should get that out the way. No, I won't.
Mhm.
Okay, let me see what I'm gonna do here.
All right.
Just so undecisive. That's because all these darn tabs.
Mhm.
That's what it is. Okay,
Yep.
let's see which tab is which. Um, let's start off with the this woman here.
All right.
Let's
All
see
right.
here. This professional squatter.
Mm.
Much, but she was a little extra with her stuff. She had the paperwork and all.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if I can go down a little bit. All right. Neighbors call woman professional squatter after moving into $500,000 home. She wasn't playing.
Hey, if
Right.
you're gonna squat, you might as well aim high.
That's right. She wasn't playing.
Mm.
All right. And I see a circle.
A woman is behind bars tonight accused of stealing a $500,000 home in Albuquerque's Four Hills neighborhood after the homeowners died. News 13's Rachel Knapp spoke with neighbors who say when the woman moved in, crime and suspicious activity in the neighborhood went up.
Dean, Lucia Ruiz is accused of forging a rental agreement and deed to the home. People I talked to today say the home became a magnet for crime, even the scene of a recent homicide.
There's definitely been people who did not belong there presenting false documents and whatever they could to stay inside that house or to throw people off.
People who live in this neighborhood in the Four Hills area don't want to show their face or use their names for safety purposes, but they're referring to this woman, 35-year-old Lucia Ruiz, calling her and the others living inside this home professional squatters.
They definitely seem to be dotting their I's and crossing their T's.
Neighbors say people have been in and out of this home for months after the owners died. Documents say Ruiz, a convicted felon, even listed the home as her address for probation. So when she violated her probation about a week ago, officers paid her a visit. And that's when neighbors told police Ruiz and the others inside were not allowed to be there. Documents say Ruiz showed officers a lease agreement, which said she was renting the property from the former owner's daughter, whose signature was on the paper, as well as pulling out a quick claim deed transferring ownership of the house to Ruiz. Investigators found that Ruiz filed that deed with the county, and the fraudulent document showed the owners signed over the $500,000 house to Ruiz for just $1. But the daughter of the former owners told investigators it's all a lie, telling them she did not sign any rental or deed agreement with anyone and that no one had permission to live inside the home. Neighbors say this is just the start of what's been going on at the home. Neighbor surveillance video captured someone screaming on the night of July 31st, running out of the problem house.
Yeah, breathing. I understand, bro.
It's unclear who is speaking in the video, but that next morning, neighbors found 34-year-old Samuel Hernandez's body just 100 feet away from that home.
this is definitely not just a homeless element. There's a criminal thing going on. It's palpable. You can just sense like what's going on over there is not kosher at all.
Neighbors say they are now looking into hiring their own private security to patrol the area. Back to you.
Rachel, thank you.
Now, this woman, she went all the way. I mean, who has the deed? Who goes that far to get the darn deed? She
Hey.
went all the way. Usually, you know, you get the person, well, I live here. Well, it's my right. Well, I could live here and all that kind of stuff. This woman had paperwork, signatures, and everything. I mean, when she took her time to research and get the names and everything, she did her thing. She did it for $1. Now she knew she was enough. She knew enough to say, "Hey, $1 is for the transfer. I got to do that. So I'm going to do that, and this place is going to be mine." And if she probably didn't have, the warrant or whatever, she'd been all right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, America has strange laws to me. I'm gonna be real. It's very strange. The squatters' rights
Mm-hmm.
and all kinds of craziness. Like right now, right? Me and Mr. Ruby are watching this like mini series, and it's actually based on the true story of Isaac Wright Jr. and his experience, right? And so anyway, basically this dude, he gets set up and now goes to prison for life on drug charges. He didn't do the drugs stuff at all. And so he actually finds a way to become not just a lawyer, like get the law degree, but then to actually sit for the bar and become a legal lawyer. And then he starts setting up his own case by basically taking down cases that this DA had done that are shady. And one of the cases, this guy's in prison for basically like you have different levels of robbery, right? And so if someone lives somewhere and you steal from them, that's like a worse charge than if you just stole something from an abandoned building.
Mm.
And they tried to set this guy up saying, well, there was a homeless person who lived inside of this abandoned building. And so because you're a squatter, well, then you got, that you have squatters' rights. It's the same thing as someone who pays rent somewhere and lives there legally, right? And I was just like, so I looked it up because I was like, there's no way this can be true. No, that's legit. That's
Mm-hmm.
legit. Are you crazy? And then they found out, that homeless person died 6 days before this robbery even happened. And they didn't even try to interview the guy. But I'm like, he's a homeless person who breaks into this property to sleep that night because it's cold. And y'all want to give him the same legal rights
Mm-hmm.
as a human being who signs a lease, gets a credit check, and has
Yep.
to pay bills monthly.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about that. Like, what is that? Why are we paying rent? Like, do you ever wonder that to yourself? Wait, why do I
Just
pay my
squat.
bills?
Yeah.
Right. I don't have to pay no bills. And then you get squatters' rights that kick in, so they can't leave you there with no heat. How dare you? That if they
Okay.
die, that it's your fault that they are breaking in and living illegally on your property. Amazing. America
Right.
is amazing. That's all.
We are. We are.
Right? All I gotta say about that. America is amazing. You know what? I think that, yeah. Since we're talking about how amazing America is, let's do our white tears winning segment first.
Okay.
Get that out of the way. Okay. So I got three little mini screens we're gonna watch. Okay. So there's not gonna be as much running in my mouth as usual because I want to get through them. Okay. Now the
Okay.
first one, you all know. And if you don't know, I don't know where you've been. Like how you missed it is beyond me. But okay, fine. Um, so I will just say the words out loud. The horror show is real. Rittenhouse was acquitted on all charges. I called it last week, right? We
Mm-hmm.
called it last week. We said it. They are setting this kid up to be innocent and not just innocent, and acquitted in court, right? but
Yeah.
that he's going to be able to walk away and live a totally normal life because, oh, he's just this poor innocent kid who he just had to defend himself, right? We set it up, and then what happened? A week later, acquitted. Let's take a listen to the story.
That was watched closely by people across the United States and also here in Canada, many wondering how this would play out as they waited for the decision.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Inside the courthouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin, as each count was read and the not guilty verdicts were said out loud, you could see Kyle Rittenhouse shake with relief. At one point, he had to be helped into his chair. As word of the verdict spread outside the courthouse, reaction was mixed.
I'm not so surprised because in this city,
I'm just wondering if anyone actually saw any tears. Cause I didn't see a tear. Like, I didn't see wet lashes, a shine on the face that would indicate water came out at that time. I'm positive that he walked in positive that he was going home. That's just me, but okay, fine.
my nephew was shot 7 times in the back and no charges were ever leveled. You have to understand from day one, the judge had his hand on the scale. He didn't allow pictures. He didn't allow videotapes in. He didn't allow. He was doing everything he could to allow this young man to leave his courtroom clear and free.
To say that we were relieved would be a gross misunderstatement. He has a huge sense of relief for what the jury did to him today. He wishes none of this would have ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
But as he said when he testified, he did not start this.
Now, I'm just going to point out that that's bullshit. Wisconsin law, just so we're all clear, because I think a lot of people were not. They were saying, oh, well, he's trying to use the same, what's it called, immunity that police are using, right? I feared for my life, and normal people are allowed to use that. But no, in Wisconsin law, it is actually okay for you to go and instigate a deadly situation and then use deadly force to quote unquote defend yourself. That still counts as self-defense in Wisconsin law, right? That's not in every state, but in Wisconsin law it is. You can go and instigate something. You can go intentionally. You can walk into a situation with a deadly weapon on your person and instigate a deadly assault or attack against yourself so that you can kill somebody. And that still counts as self-defense. And that's ultimately what happened here, in case people didn't know. Yeah, it's crazy, I know. But this lawyer's full of shit. He already knew what he was working with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also in Wisconsin law, right, he didn't have to prove that he was acting in self-defense. The prosecution had to prove he was not. And when you tie their hands together,
Oh, okay.
right, and you ban the use of basically all of the evidence, right? And then you have this law that says, well, it doesn't matter. Even if he crossed state lines with an illegal gun and went there and intentionally riled people up holding an AK in his hand, it doesn't matter. If he then shot people because he feared for his life, because people advanced on him, it's self-defense. Well, then how can the prosecution prove it wasn't? Okay, exactly. So, white tears winning, because at the end of the day, he cried in his testimony and he got all broken up and blah, 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 right? Okay.
Right.
Well, let's talk about another kind of white tears. Because here's the thing. I don't know if y'all notice, we talk a lot about Karens and about their white tears and them winning with their white tears. But there is a situation where white tears don't necessarily work out well, even when they should. And so let's talk about this case now. Because white tears won, again, they did, but it took a very long time. And I think we can all admit that this woman lost her whole mind at one point. Whole mind. She was crazy. I'll admit it. I don't know if y'all will admit it. I will admit it. But she gained her mind back. And once she gained her mind back, why isn't this blowing up? Don't worry, we'll refresh. Once she gained her mind back, she should have also gained her rights back as a whole adult human being. But Britney Spears did not. A lot of people didn't realize what this conservatorship really was for the last 13
At
years.
SAS, we love bold questions.
But it was crazy.
Because with the right analytics, we make data
Absolutely
do amazing
crazy.
things, like make the
What is
world
happening?
safer, faster, healthier, and kinder. All we have to do is ask the data.
What is with the ads? Y'all see these ads?
Yeah, trust me, it's been that day for me too.
Britney Spears says she is
playing with people today. I'm not in the mood for y'all. Technology, stop playing with me. Thank you. Okay, so let's listen to Brittney, because Brittney has finally been freed, y'all. Free Brittney worked. Hashtag free Brittney worked.
Okay,
Can't
so I'm
believe
going
it.
to answer all of your guys' questions. And the first main question that you guys have been asking me is, what am I going to do now that the conservatorship is over with? Very good question. Well, let's see.
I gotta be real though, she's not presenting very well. Like, she finally won, and she can't stop rocking back and forth. You know, she's wearing like her shorts way too low. It's making her belly kind of bubble out. Her makeup, she's looking rough. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. Like, she does look really rough right now. I'm happy she won, but
yeah,
Brittney, you're falling off. Okay.
Been in the conservatorship for 13 years.
13.
It's a really long time to be in a situation you don't want to be in. So I'm just grateful, honestly, for each day and being able to have the keys to my car and being able to be independent and feel like a woman, and owning an ATM card, seeing cash for the first time, being able to buy candles. It's the little things for us women, but it makes a huge difference.
I think it's ridiculous she brought the stuff up that she did. I don't know if y'all realize the conservatorship didn't allow her, like, she had an IUD placed inside of her and she wasn't allowed to take it out. She couldn't demand to see a doctor. She couldn't demand anything. She wasn't even allowed to hire her own lawyers. And the lawyer that she was given, which was in her daddy's pocket, didn't tell her that she could apply to stop the conservatorship herself. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy what Brittney went through. But you know what? Listen, finally, enough white tears banded together. Brittney's free. This one, guys. This one takes the cake. I gotta say, this one honestly takes the cake. And let me tell y'all why it takes the cake. Okay. So we've heard of bail bondsmen, right? I mean, you've heard of a bail bondsman, right?
Yes.
My understanding is their job is to retrieve you and bring you back to the court system, so that way the people can get their money back. It's the whole thing. Last time I checked, this is just me, nobody licensed them to be judge, jury, or executioner. This bail bondswoman, yeah, she didn't know that apparently. So let's listen to this. See how this one worked out. This is amazing. And this happened years ago, y'all. Years ago. 2017, we missed it.
I'm not getting no cup. Yeah, actually you are. For what? PD on the web, you can turn around.
This is him right here.
For what? Turn around.
This is the criminal.
No, hey, don't put your hands up. Turn around. No, put your hands on me. And put your hands behind. Why? What are you doing this to me for? Why are you doing it? Stand behind your. What are you doing this to me for, man?
Wow. What the?
Yeah, that was a gun. That was a gun. Let's do it again.
Yeah, even the son was shocked.
Mom.
You're like, Mom, that's enough.
Right? He's like, Mom.
What the world?
You shot him. And she's like, yeah, I did. Very calmly. Like, she didn't seem like she went searching calmly for her gun, pulled it out, didn't even know how to hold it right, and shot that man. Because he didn't want to go, yeah, okay, no problem. I'll go to prison. But, okay. But let's see how this played out now. This is crazy. That poor boy. I feel bad for her son. He's freaking out.
Right.
Mom, you.
So obviously she must have been
Brandon
punished, right?
resisted arrest by trying to escape to a balcony window that was off camera. While he was running away, Chastity shot Brandon in the back, killing him. That night, Chastity willingly
the
went to
back.
the police station where she cooperated with the police and then went home. Justin gave police his GoPro that was set up in the office during the event, and Chastity was later arrested and charged with first-degree murder. While at the police station, she stated, "Williams hopped up, flipped out, shoved him and shoved me. I don't even know how he got the gun, how I had the gun. I just know I pulled the trigger and he went out the window yelling at me, 'You fucking shot me.'"
Did not have a concealed carry permit. Not a licensed
During her
armed
trial,
carrier.
she claimed that she shot in self-defense, despite the fact that Brandon never touched the gun or resorted to violence. She said that she was worried that Brandon might get her gun and kill her and Justin.
Now,
on the way out the door.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Now you're starting to see why I pulled this up in relation to Rittenhouse, right?
Yes.
Okay, this was, again, the crime was committed 2017, February 23rd. Okay, let's take a listen.
Chastity stated that the video made her look like a monster and didn't tell the full story. On March 9th, 2018, Chastity was acquitted by a jury who believed it was never her intention to murder Brandon Williams. She quit her job running a bail bonds office and now pursues a career as a professional photographer.
She loves shooting, though, don't she?
Sure. She didn't intend to kill him, so therefore she is innocent of all charges. Like that was what they came up with. She shot him in the back as he was fleeing from her. She has no license to carry, no concealed carry. Her profession doesn't allow her to do what she did. She did it anyway with an illegally concealed gun that she had and shot him in the back as he was fleeing from her and was acquitted of all charges. This is how things roll. I don't know why everyone was so surprised about Rittenhouse. Like, this is white tears work for a lot. I'm telling you, I was scared. I was scared for my life. I thought something bad might happen to me. That's all you got to say. You thought that was just for the cops? It's for white, right-wing people. That's it. Sorry, y'all.
Girl.
Yeah. Right?
Tired.
Right? Second of all, never get bailed above. If you get a bail bondsman, don't run away because they can apparently murder you with illegal weapons and still get acquitted. So, yeah.
Yeah, don't do it.
Not a good plan.
Okay. This one, there should have been a murder, but I'm hold my comment. Let me see if I can. Okay.
If you're sharing, it's not sharing.
Oh, my bad. I was so involved with the commercial.
I figured.
I was so involved with that darn commercial. I was trying to get it right. I saw. All right. Well, here we go.
All right.
Suburban dogs spared from being euthanized. Attacks again in Elwood Park. All right. Let me see.
This week, they plan to file
Elmwood Park weeks later.
And WGN's Jewel Hillary is live in the loop now with more on this. Jewel.
Hi, good evening, you all. Those attorneys held a press conference here in the Loop earlier this afternoon. And during that press conference, they tell us that by the end of this week, they plan to file a legal complaint against the village of Palatine, the owner of the alleged attack dogs, as well as the person they believe is currently keeping those dogs right now in Elmwood Park. On August 20th, Elmwood Park resident Steve Hines, who says he and his wife, Annetta, aren't doing so well, received a call he'll never forget. At the time, his wife, Annetta, was walking their dog, Piper Joe.
He had a phone call from a bystander who was walking their dog at the time as well and said that your wife and your dog have been attacked. So I ran out of the house I couldn't find him at first. Then I got in my truck and I was on the scene. I saw my dog bloody all over the place, and my wife standing there holding our animal.
During the attack, Hines says his beloved retriever was mangled by two large dogs, a pit bull mix and an Akita mix. He says his wife was slammed onto the ground, landing on her tailbone. She's now receiving care for her physical and emotional wounds.
My attack happened for 7 minutes, where I was being dragged along the concrete.
Attorneys representing the victims say Amanda Ingram and Chase Braun, who live in Palatine, were also attacked by the same dogs in May. Ingram's dog was killed, and Chase says he was brutally attacked.
I think they should euthanize the dogs and do a better job of following up.
Attorneys say the village of Palatine made a plea deal with the dog's owner, Meliina Teodora. The deal kept the dogs from being euthanized as long as they moved outside of Palatine. According to attorneys, the village was supposed to keep track of the dogs and take other measures to keep the community safe.
Everything we understand tells us that the village of Palatine did absolutely none of those checks. They did not follow up with the Teodoros about where the dogs went. They did not follow up with the Teodoros about what they were doing to ensure that the community around them was safe. And all of those failures led to this attack against Annetta.
In a statement from the village of Palatine, Commander Bruce Morris says the village sought the most stringent outcome that was supported by the law and local ordinances at the time of the dog bites in Palatine, including criminal charges which remain pending. As to the administrative citations, to suggest that the dogs should have been euthanized would have been to ignore the law. The owner complied with the conditions of the court order, and the dogs completed the required training that they were ordered to undergo.
The purpose of being here today is to let the village of Elmwood Park, to let the Cook County Animal Control, to let the Cook County State's Attorney know not to repeat the same mistake that the village of Palatine did.
Now, those attorneys say that pit bull mix and that Akita mix, as far as they know, are currently being kept in Elmwood Park by someone there. They also say that the owner of those dogs has been convicted of municipal violations in Elmwood Park. For now, reporting live in the Loop.
Sure, now they have. Okay. Growing up in the city, and a lot of people had dogs in the 80s. And you would hear some issues as far as, a dog bite. It wasn't a whole lot, but it seemed like as time gone on, they are more aggressive. In the 90s, 2000s, started getting worse. And in this case, as far as this deal that Palatine had with these owners, I think some money was exchanged. I really think that's what it was. I didn't look up that last name, but I think they're either in the there's something. They're officers. There's something. There's some kind of high-ranking official or something for them to just let this go the way they have. Like, oh, just move. I mean, and that's another question I have. How does moving with the same dog that did this thing that it did is going to change anything? That's what I would like to know. That bright idea, I don't get. I don't get that at all. And the dog killed another dog as well as injured an individual. And then it gets a chance to do it somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And I really hate hearing these stories. But growing up here in Chicago, I just thought to myself, just looking around as a young woman, thinking, well, a lot of these people that you hear about the dogs and everything, they're living in apartments. They're not in homes. So why allow the dogs to be in apartments? They're small. These apartments are not very large. They're not, thousands of square feet. They're small apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And why not have it at least, if you're going to have a particular dog that is more aggressive, that they have to be in a home? Why don't,
Mm.
they have a yard or something? Why can't you do that? That way you can maybe control them a little bit better. It may not be the answer, but this is something that I thought of. But as
Mm-hmm.
far as having them in a apartment, and just think for the past 2 years now, these animals really probably haven't been out doing what it normally like to do, get some fresh air because
Mm-hmm.
of the pandemic. And then they probably, you know, really ain't that happy. I don't know, just making something up. They might not be all that happy with all those family members in the house. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But it just angers me. I'm like, I know some money was exchanged. I just really truly believe that because this isn't how it normally goes. So that's why I'm thinking some money was exchanged, and this really ticked me off.
I think what it comes down to is a couple things. Number one, white humans specifically, care more about animals than they do about people. I've just noticed this as a general trend, right? Like
Yes.
how many missing thousands, tens of thousands of black girls go missing a
Mhm.
year. Nobody cares. But one person kills a cat online and they all become amateur detectives and bond together to try to catch the cat killer.
Yep.
Some weirdo Canadian model. But the point, and then they made a documentary about it. That's how important it was. I mean, they really care more about animals than they do about people. I agree with you. I think the thing is, like, okay, for example, we know Dalmatians are not particularly child friendly. So therefore, if you're in a household with small children, you shouldn't get Dalmatians. Or if you're in a neighborhood that has a lot of school districts, you know that there's gonna be a lot of young kids in the neighborhood. Maybe that's not an appropriate dog for the type of neighborhood. Or like you said with apartments, I don't even think it's about viciousness. I just think it's about size because
Yeah.
dogs are like a breed of wolf. They're
Hmm.
animals, right? They're not actually like you might have tried to breed them to be a pet, but they're animals, wild animals. So they need to be able to run around and move around. And these little toy poodles and stuff, yeah, they're cool, right? You can walk them around the apartment a couple times and get tired. But like these big old dogs, right? Even like the friendly ones, St. Bernards and stuff like that, they gotta go walking. They need to get that energy out. They need to mark the
Yeah.
territory and do all those things that dogs do. And it's cruel to box them up and not get them out of the house several times a day for a good long walk. And let's be real, with the obesity epidemic, ain't nobody trying to
Hmm.
walk anywhere. Right? So a lot of people are not even walking their dogs. They're just literally walking to the front of their building, being like, yo, hurry up and pee right there on the grass and let's go back inside. They're not taking long walks with these dogs. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't care for dogs. I did a whole
Hmm.
video on how dog licks kill. But if you're gonna have one, then you should treat it properly. I mean,
Yeah.
right? Like you almost
And
can't
keep
blame the
people safe.
dogs.
Right.
Yeah, right? Like you're not training your dog properly, you're not socializing your dog properly, you're not letting it get its aggression and energy out properly. You can't blame the dog. The dog's not like making independent decisions. Um, all right, y'all.
Yeah.
So like I said, right? They care more about animals than they do people. Um,
Yes.
so let's talk about this story now. You might have heard this story, but I'm going to elaborate on it afterwards and tell you the real deal because these people are lying. And money's getting exchanged, as you said. They have very much twisted this story. So the school board looks innocent and the students look like a bunch of wild savages. All right, take a listen.
Well, this is what it looked like inside Rittenhouse High School today after student-led protests turned into chaos. Four students were arrested accused of assaulting police officers. Video posted on social media showed some officers using pepper spray and a taser on students. Matt Howerton walks us through how the department is responding.
Frantic, jaw-dropping chaos.
Just confused and
a little upset.
Unfolded inside Little Elm High School Friday,
It just started getting a little bit rowdy.
ending with students being maced, tased,
I'm angry. I'm pissed. They pepper sprayed my daughter, a good kid.
and arrested.
There were students that were being arrested and manhandled on the floor.
This all beginning over a student walkout protesting an alleged sexual assault by a student. The district telling us the demonstration was the result of a social media post containing inaccurate information about an incident a month ago, but wouldn't elaborate further. At some point, the walkout went south, the district only saying some students behaved in a way that caused a major disruption, but clearer facts aren't known yet. 4 students were arrested for assaulting officers, the district said.
I saw parents everywhere, cops, helicopters.
Chandra Weekly was one of the parents who waited in this line for her 2 kids to be released as emergency vehicles swarmed the area.
There was no reason to use any aggressiveness like they did.
A DFW NAACP chapter even arrived late Friday wanting more explanation from the district and Little Elm PD about what happened here.
I'm really concerned to see the circumstances that surrounded, that led to the necessity to use that type of force with children.
Little Elm PD telling me that no officer is on leave right now, but that it is reviewing the use of force that was captured in those videos. In Little Elm, I'm Matt Howerton.
All right. So now what we're going to do, because I got the tea, okay, we're going to watch the video footage, more video footage from the riot, quote unquote, at the school. And I'm going to tell you why this happened. Because the school board is trying to say, oh, this is about some inaccurate information that was posted a couple days ago about something that happened like a month ago. Right? These students, they just want to be wild. And they're acting terribly. Okay. Well, let's listen to the stories from the students. Now, because these are underage students, we are going to use not their legal names, right? We're going to default to Jane and John Doe and such. But this is the immediate situation that happened, okay?
Okay.
So you had back at the beginning of October, Jane Doe, a sophomore at Little Elm High School, went to administration to report being sexually harassed and assaulted by John Doe, a freshman at Little Elm High School. Not only did sexual assault and harassment take place, but on school property. The two rode the same bus and still do. She began telling me about what started as him making comments and progressed to him getting physical. Things that made her uncomfortable, like him asking, "Why are your boobs so big?" to things like, "You need to lose weight," while grabbing her stomach. As she told me about the little comments he made about her body and then turning into him repeatedly grabbing her breasts, butt, stomach, and thighs and making sexual comments, I watched my best friend become more deeply affected by this boy's actions. Since the first instance, she has told him to stop. From the first comment, she would tell him she wasn't okay with him saying that. Every single time she was touched, she told him to stop. His response? To tell her, "So what, you can't take it?" And he continued to touch her. This went on for nearly a month. Every day I would come home to Jane calling me with something new that John did on the bus that day. It got so bad that towards the end that I had started to give Jane rides home from school because she refused to get on the bus. Let me play it in case y'all missed something. Because she refused to get on the bus. Having breakdowns at the thought of having to see him at school the next day, trying to avoid him in the building because she was terrified of what he might do to her if he got her alone. I convinced her to report it to the school, so she did. She went to her house officer and gave a statement to Dr. Muhammad and Officer Pham. Myself and one other girl gave statements as witnesses who had heard or seen these events take place. The school's response? Talk to the boy. The boy who denied it all and said, "I can't believe she would accuse me of something like this." The school bus even checked the camera footage on their bus and determined that since Jane had been seen speaking to John, that she had allowed it. Just because she spoke to him. Yep. Officer Pham asked her the day she reported it, "Well, did you do anything to allow it?"
Uh-oh.
In the end, not only did John walk away with no consequences for his actions, but Jane received 3 days of in-school suspension for falsely accusing him and lying about the situation. Yeah.
Wow.
Students at Little Elm High School frequently report instances of sexual assault, harassment, abuse, rape, and a considerable amount of those taking place on school grounds or property. The school, they do nothing. The administration as a whole, but specifically our lovely Dr. Muhammad, Little Elm High School admin, cannot keep ignoring the students crying for help. They cannot keep victim blaming. They cannot keep putting their students in harm's way and then punishing them when they get hurt. All it teaches these boys is that if they can get away with touching a girl, maybe they can get away with raping one too. Little Elm High School cannot keep ignoring these girls and encouraging their abusers. This is why they walked out. You have several people who are former students at the school who chimed in. There's a girl who left her story from when she was a student in 2010 and was 15, and she was being assaulted, and the teachers, administration, counselors, no one took her seriously. In when she went to she they just told her, yeah, go talk to the boy, which she did. He assaulted her several more times, and this was considered a non-issue by school staff. And then what ended up happening is they said, well, you have to provide hard evidence of what occurred. So she told them the dates and times and asked them to pull the footage because the school has cameras, and they declined to do it. Then she brought testimony from people who have observed it. And they said that that wasn't hard evidence. That was just more he said, she said.
Wow.
Yeah. And so at the time, it got really dark for her. A counselor actually tried to help her, and then they fired the counselor for being too involved in a student's life, and she ended up dropping out at 15. So I mean,
Wow.
like this has been an ongoing issue at this school, and they're ignoring it. So, and it's for decades at least. So the students are done, and that's why they decided to do a school walkout. But the school, protecting the white privileged boys, said, no, 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 we don't want that. So they called the police on the kids and told them, I'll get these white liberal losers that are, they're all black sympathizers and liberal sympathizers. And then the police are coming at them with tasers and pepper spray. That's what really happened on Friday.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So in case y'all didn't know, that's the real deal of what was happening at Little Elm. Wasn't oh, they're moving on misinformation. No, it's the school is protecting the white privileged male, right? And the girls are being thrown under the bus, ignored, and generally mocked, not just by the boys while they continue to be assaulted, but by the teachers. And then anytime a counselor or teacher wants to help the kids, they get suspended without pay, fired. So this is what when we're talking about on the left, when women are talking about rape culture, this is what they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And you'd say, oh, this is a super extreme situation. Unfortunately, it happens too often, and these kids are just over it. So kudos to them for taking a stand. Hopefully it moves the school board into actually doing something, because this is crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it is that season, and people are always thinking about them sweet potato pies. So I figure I'd talk about some sweet potato pie. All right. So people are familiar with Patti Bell on the left, and what is her name? Miss Robbie on the right. And let's talk about it here. That should have been my pies. Miss Robbie shares how Patti LaBelle beat her to Walmart with her sweet potato pies. Okay, scroll here on my end. This thing was frustrating me earlier. It kept bouncing. All right. Patti LaBelle took the food world by storm 5 years ago when her eponymous pies flew off of Walmart shelves. Everyone and their mama had to have one of those Patti pies. Robbie Montgomery, affectionately known as Miss Robbie, the mastermind behind popular soul food restaurant Sweetie Pies, said that could have been her had her team listened to her pleas to get her pies in Walmart. Okay, move ad out the way. Okay. Miss Robbie, affectionately known, I said it already, sorry. I have to scroll and then jump back up and see what I'm doing. Miss Robbie told Black Enterprise that she had asked her team for quite some time to contact Walmart to gauge their interest in carrying her decadent sweet potato pies, but the next thing she knew, Patty had beaten her to the punch. I make a fantastic sweet potato pie, and I used to always tell them, y'all need to get my pies in Walmart. And then they would say, we gonna do it. We gonna do it. And we look up, Patty got hers in there. Miss Robbie recounted, chuckling. That should have been my pies, but we were lagging, slagging behind, she said. So Patty got her pies out there, and I'm proud of her. Okay, more scrolling. Turns out to have a huge missed opportunity, according to Food and Wine magazine. A Walmart representative said when Patty Pies first came out, they sold out in the first 3 days, selling one pie every second during that time frame. This, according to the magazine, breaks down to roughly $1 million in pie sales. Since then, her pies are selling out every 2 seconds. And Miss Robbie, she's 81 years old. She's pursuing other things in her dreams, which is she put out her first solo song and video called Ain't My Stuff Good Enough, and is hoping to become the oldest female Grammy winner, the oldest female singer to win a Grammy. The next goal on her list is to get Sweetie Pie's brand out into the marketplace so she can plan retirement. 81 years old, lady, I would have been retired. What I'm waiting on? I ain't waiting on nothing.
She ain't got no pension. She ain't got no pension.
You know what? She's taking care of her family, and I think that's what's going on. She's so concerned with her relatives and everything. She want to
Mm.
make sure everybody is doing well,
Mm-hmm.
and she can do that if she wants.
Yeah.
However, I'll teach my children and everyone how to fish, and then I'm gonna cut that damn hook. Well, you on your own. Shoot, I'm old. I'm going to sit my ass down somewhere. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I feel you on that. I remember my grandmother. I'll never forget this. She was sitting there because she retired. I won't say super early, but like she was kind of almost forced into retirement because Kellogg's moved their factory from Ontario to Quebec. So unless you were going to move to Quebec, you don't have a job anymore. And at that point, she already old. She's been involved in a hit and run where someone hit her and broke a whole bunch of stuff. She wasn't going anywhere. And so she's taking her little bit of money she's got, her little bit of pension, her little bit of old age money, and putting it aside to pay for her own funeral and pay for her own plot. And I'm like, Grandma, why are you doing this? You've got like 1,000 kids and grandkids, right? Not 1,000, it's like 4 of them and then like 6 of us, but whatever. Anyway, right?
Right.
And she said, well, yeah, that's true, but I don't want to be a hardship on my children, right? I just want it to be taken care of. They'll be sad and then they'll have to try to find the money somewhere, and that's not fair. So I'm going to, and she's been paying for her own plot. She had been paying for her own plot since I was like a kid. And I thought it was so like kind of gruesome and creepy, right? Like you're like paying for your death, grandma. But like that's how moms, and dads are. They just like they're always thinking about taking care of their kids even when their kids are grown with better jobs than they ever had. It's like, no, I still got to take care of them.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? They want to sit down, but they just can't help themselves. Some mamas, some.
I be sitting down. I'm just
Charlotte,
saying.
I was like, yeah, that's not me. But good luck with that though. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna the story I'm covering today. First, I want to show y'all a recap of a previous story. See if y'all remember this one because I think it's interesting. We'll see. We'll see if y'all remember this. Let's see if y'all remember this story. Quick little clip.
Okay. All right, I don't see nothing yet.
Oh, right. I forgot. I forgot. It doesn't just happen magically anymore. I have to be an adult. Okay, there you go. Got it.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I forgot to click that button. It's good. You got this.
An Aurora family had quite their flight to Texas this week. Apparently, someone thought they looked quite suspicious together.
Well, they have a good idea about what that other passenger had them so concerned. And today they told Denver 7's Brian Wang all about it.
I feel bad. I don't know. Knowing that you might have to go through that a lot.
Lakeisha Bailey and her 4-year-old adopted sister, Olivia Fry, continue to console each other after their relationship was questioned Tuesday morning at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport.
There was 2 police officers, and they came up to me, and they're like, "We need to talk. Is it okay if we talk to you?" He asked Livy if she knows me, and what am I to her? And then he asked what my mom was to her.
And the questions continued. According to Bailey, officers spoke with Fry's legal mother and a social worker to confirm information. The officers would follow them to baggage claim before speaking with the person who picked them up.
The whole time they were talking to us, people kept staring at us, like whispering and stuff like that.
Bailey says the experience was humiliating.
Okay, well, I can stay by your side. I'm gonna stay by your side too.
So how did these two
That reminds me of
sisters
my
get caught
sister.
up with police? According to a statement by Frontier Airlines, a concern was raised during the flight by another passenger who was sitting near the woman and child and suspected human trafficking. That passenger approached the flight crew with those concerns and subsequently completed a written report during the flight to document her observations. The captain was notified and felt an obligation to report the matter. Denver 7 asked Frontier for that report. So far, no response. A DFW Department of Public Safety incident report confirms officers investigated the matter. For Bailey, the underlying factor is obvious.
It was the roles were changed, and it was a white person walking off the plane with a black person, like a black child. I feel like things would be different.
Now Bailey and her family are considering legal action against the airlines. I'm Brian Wang, Denver 7.
Well, I remember this story. We covered it. And I remember agreeing with her. I literally said, I think she's absolutely right. She was a white girl with a little black sister. We wouldn't have had this problem. Let's see if I was right.
Okay. Hashtag Ruby's right.
Let's see if I was. Listen, I'm going to just give you a caveat at first. I'm not always right about everything. But maybe I am. Maybe there's a conspiracy. Let's see.
All right, you got to add it on here now.
Oh my God, I forgot to do it again.
It's okay.
I was doing so good at the start of the show. I knew. I was just like, okay, you just clicked it and click. Okay, I'm going to find a fast way to do it. Don't worry. I got this, y'all. I'm growing. Okay.
The flight attendants were just concerned about the behavior when you boarded the aircraft. That's all we're following up on. We're not suspecting anything.
In a 3-minute video, Mary McCarthy recorded her interactions with Denver police and a Southwest Airlines employee after she and a 10-year-old daughter got off a flight 2 weeks ago. The pair had been traveling from Los Angeles to attend her brother's funeral when they were met by the officers.
It's okay, sweetheart. We booked a flight late last night.
And she doesn't need to be scared because you are not in any trouble whatsoever.
We booked a flight late last night.
McCarthy says flight attendants called police for suspicious behavior after she had asked other passengers to switch seats so she could sit with her daughter, who is biracial.
Everything clicked in my brain then. I suspected we had been racially profiled.
10 days later, she got a copy of the police report that said officers were dispatched on report of possible human trafficking. On the video, you can hear McCarthy tell officers and Southwest that she is a single mom and they were traveling for a funeral.
That's all we need to know. You guys are good. I do apologize.
It's not because I have a daughter who has already unfortunately been traumatized by police in her life.
Well, and,
Yeah, I'm
and,
sure you're
and I'm
wonderful.
not trying to do that by any stretch of the means.
So this isn't okay.
In a statement, the Denver Police Department says in part officers responded based upon the report from airline staff, and the department closed out this report as unfounded with no further action necessary. While the airline said it offered our apologies and was disheartened to learn of this mother's account, and it is conducting a review of the situation internally.
Why didn't you ask for proof that we're mother-daughter? I travel with my daughter's birth certificate.
Now,
better.
Right? Well, yeah, you kind of should have to. But was I right? No. Apparently I was not right. Because at the end of the day, and now let's think about this. So the way that Southwest works, and they know this is the thing that I think is mind-blowing. So they said, well, the shady thing was she asked some people to move around so her and her daughter could be seated together. Now, what happened is they booked a last minute flight. The way Southwest works apparently is they book you, or they let you sit down according to when you bought your ticket. And because it's a last minute flight, they weren't able to get 2 seats together. She asked the flight attendants at the time, because even though her daughter is very tall, she's only 10. Like, is there something we can do to make me and my daughter sit together? The flight attendant said, no, sorry, you got to sit in your seats. So she just asked the people around her, would you guys just mind shifting? So that way it's, because otherwise it was going to be a person, her daughter, a person, then the aisle, then a person, then her, then another person, right? So they both had middle seats, and they just asked, would anyone be comfortable switching so that way her and her daughter could sit together? And that was their cause for concern. That and the fact that they weren't interacting on the flight. How much? First of all, how much in general do kids talk to their parents on a flight anyway? They got all this free media they can use, right? And it's exciting to watch a movie on the plane and da 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 da. But also, your uncle died. You didn't get to say goodbye. Your brother died. You didn't get to say goodbye. This is a grieving people. They were supposed to be what? Super excited, like they were going on vacation to Denver. Who goes on vacation to Denver? It's Denver, right?
Right.
Like that was, so apparently, no, they will do this. So the issue is not just that, in the first case she was black. It's that there was black and white. Right? And this is where we're now getting issues with biracial and interracial. And on one side, people are talking about culture clashing and blah, blah, blah. On the other side, though, we haven't gotten over it. Like, we haven't gotten over this idea that, like, oh, no way black people and white people want to touch each other, right? So, and it's like you see a black person and a white person together. Something must be off about that. Like, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And there's always it's always black and white. Like, you don't hear this about Asian.
Anything else. Yeah,
right?
You're right.
You got to have a black and white. And it's just ridiculous. Absolutely traumatizing. And this kid was inconsolable because of all of the cases that have been being covered on the media lately. So she knows what happens to 10-year-old black kids. Right? So, please come. They're being intimidating. They want to ask her questions. She's thinking at a moment she's going to get shot. She's going to get killed. Her mom's going to get shot and killed for being with a black person. She was inconsolable. That poor kid. Terrible.
That is awful.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, this story irritates me because it always goes down to the person that's doing a fraud, getting away with it. We got to pay for it and all that, and it pisses me off every darn time. I know this is a football guy. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but I've seen him all the time. Farve. I don't know how you say his last name.
I think it's like Farve or something.
Farve. Oh, okay. Well,
like Fava, like fava bean, but with a r.
Farve.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do my best.
I don't know
then.
though. Yeah. You just try. We know what you're talking about.
We'll just call him Brett. You forget it.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, Brett He repaid $600,000 to Mississippi after state auditor says he received illegal funds. He still owes $228,000, the state says. So I'm like, how you get that money? So let's find out. Former NFL quarterback Brett repays the state of Mississippi $600,000 that he allegedly received from welfare funds intended to serve families in need, according to the state's auditor. But he could still face a civil legal battle if he doesn't pay the remaining money the state says he owes. Now, what is he doing with some welfare money? Well, let me continue. The Mississippi Office of the State Auditor determined that Brett and one of his employees owed the state a total of $828,000 that were illegally dispersed to them from the state's welfare budget through at least one non-for-profit that he worked with, according to the auditor Shad White. After paying $600,000 this week, Brett must pay the remaining $228,000 in interest within 30 days to avoid a legal issue, auditor's office spokesperson Logan Rees told CNN. Now I'm just going to pause right there. How was that interest? $228,000. How was that interest? Maybe they misprinted, but okay, that's what it reads, and I just read it.
Hey,
That's a whole lot of interest now. Come on.
right?
I can see if it was a couple of $1 billion and the interest was 228,000. But come on, but that's what it says. All right, Brett is among some of those who didn't fulfill the terms their contract when he worked with a nonprofit, according to the auditor's office. But the Mississippi native said he had no knowledge that the money he received was misappropriated. I have never received monies for obligations I didn't meet, Brett said in a tweet in May 2020. To reiterate Auditor's White's statement, I was unaware that the money being dispersed was paid out of funds not intended for that purpose. And because of that, I am refunding the full amount back to Mississippi. CNN has reached out to Brett's agent, Bus Cook, for comment. Okay, scroll down. Okay, the audit revealed millions were misused. The misappropriated funding was revealed when the Mississippi Office of the State Auditors examined how the State Department of Human Services used its funding. 2 years ago, my office audited DHS, White said in a news release dated October 12th. After 2 years of work, we found tens of millions of dollars in misspending. Those findings, have now been confirmed this month by an independent forensic auditor commissioned by DHS. It's time for taxpayers to attempt to recover what was lost. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. It falls all the time on the taxpayer. But I'm almost at the end. The auditors found that more than $77 million were inappropriately used from the state welfare program, I don't know how, temporary assistance for needy families, through two community-based nonprofits. The auditor also conducted an accounting firm in Maryland, according to the auditor's office. That it makes sense. Two non-for-profit, the Mississippi Community Educators Center and the Family Resource Center, either misrepresented or improperly dispersed portions of that $77 million, meaning the money was ultimately misspent by a vendor to the nonprofit, the auditor office said. CNN has reached out to the nonprofits for comment. The former head of DHS, John Davis, must pay more than $96 million for allegedly, no, he did, approving the illegal spending, the auditor's office said. The agency is also requesting that the former DHS Deputy Director Jacob Black pays $1,824 for first class air travel that was not authorized. This is what gets on my nerve. You got the people that's higher up. You pay them all this money, and you pay them a lot of money, and you give them a nice cushy pension and budget credit card, cars, everything, and they don't do the right thing in their position. And then who has to pay? The taxpayer. Janie taxpayer and Johnny taxpayer. We're the ones that have to pay. They
Yep.
pay a percentage, get off, and ride into the sunset while we continue to pay. Every time you look around, there's a little extra. Like I mentioned last month, my internet bill was $1.50 more. I'm like, where did this come from? Because they squeeze in a little here, a little bit there, and you got so many customers time $1.50, and there you are, $500,000, if not $1 million. I wouldn't be surprised. Each and every time. So why can't we create something that we can audit these people in their jobs? Let me just see if you're doing the right thing. Let's see if we can get somebody to do what you do even cheaper. How about that?
Right. You'd think. But see, that's not the way it works. And the thing is, right, is that, and I'm going to be real, including us all, we all get turned around and twisted up with all of the stuff they keep throwing at us so we can be distracted by bullshit, right? I showed y'all media propaganda about Rittenhouse. This is all a distraction so that way you don't focus on things you should focus on. Like how the rich are literally, you are funding the rich. There's welfare for billionaires and they're not getting no $700 max a month. Do you know what I mean? There's food stamps for billionaires. It's not called those things. There's different program names for it, different types of bailouts, right?
Right.
But when, you know, a hardworking, honest, hardworking person who's run their own little company for 20 years now gets hurt by COVID, right? Then it's, well, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? But the multi-billion-dollar corporation just gets bailed out indefinitely. Do you know that milk, all of the farm stuff, so like anything regarding carbohydrates, so milk, wheat, all of those things, they work at a deficit. They literally lose money every single year. And that's why there's so many commercials trying to push these things on you. You know why the farmers keep doing it? Because even though it's a loss, your taxpayer dollars go to supplement the farming of things you don't actually consume. That's what it is. Right?
Wow.
They're working at a deficit. They literally lose money every year, but the government subsidizes the difference. So that way, not only are they not at a loss, but they're at a profit. They're getting paid, right? They're living nicely. Well, where's the government getting that money from? Your tax dollars. So they're going to benefit from you buying it. And then whatever benefit they don't get from you buying it, they just take from your tax. This is the grand hustle, y'all. They're literally robbing us all blind, left, right, and center. And then anytime we get too close to caring about it and banding together as united front to get some change done, they throw some bullshit out there so we can focus on race or something.
Every time.
Every
time. Not sometimes. Every time.
They came up with a movie telling us that they did. It's called Wag the Dog. Wag the Dog, that movie had so many issues getting produced and released because they didn't want it out there, right? Because they're like, oh my God, it's going to inform the American public of what we've been doing to them all this time with the media. This was like 2-3 decades ago. And then you know what they figured out? Wait a minute. There's no point in us fighting this because nobody pays attention. And then we can just distract them. And that's what they did.
Exactly.
And that's why no one's heard of the movie. Right? It's amazing.
It was a good movie, though. I do.
It was a
remember
really good movie. I highly suggest you guys watch it. Again, it's called Wag the Dog. Yes.
All
Well,
right.
I ain't got no
Looking
more stories. I just got Karen. So you got a story? Go ahead.
That's it. Looking at the time, we can go ahead and do what we do. You know, we all excited about that. Karen, I know DeAndre in there waiting. He's like, hey, he got his hands rubbed together. Like, okay, where my Karen's at? So, Karen, what you up to now?
Feet away, coronavirus. You are Karen.
Girl, I want to be real. Listen, we all know that, right? We all know news ain't the most popular thing with our people. But what we do know is people love our Karen segment. Because I heard it. I think it was Friday on Professor Gold. What was his name?
Gold Professor.
Gold Professor, right? And I think it was she that was up there like, man, should I be doing this Karen segment? It's so funny. Out of all the things we do, the Karen segment is 15 minutes of 2 whole days of streaming, right?
Right.
He was like, oh man, that Karen segment. We know y'all look forward to it, so we do our best, okay? And I got some Kens and some Karens. Let's start with the Ken.
Okay.
Because Kens are fun. Now, this Ken is like our typical Trump tard. I think it's amazing, actually. I don't know what people think about like the president. And you'll see what I mean in a second. I'm not even going to say any more because I'm going to have to ruin it. I'm just going to let y'all listen to Trump Tard over here. And y'all will see. Y'all will see. I want to ruin the surprise. Okay.
A white supremacist, the Aryan nation will rule the world. People covered in tattoos are going to be my closest relatives. I promise
we got
you.
children in here.
I don't give a fuck. Call Donald Trump, please. Come on, Sonny. You know Donald Trump. You don't know Donald Trump. I'm not going nowhere. I will butt fuck this bitch on the table right now.
What the world?
Call Donald Trump. I'm not playing this game. Here's my phone. I am the Trump. I'll kill you. I swear to God, I'll do it. You fucking just defeat the right man. Don't choke him. Don't choke him. I'm the biggest thing in the world. My brother says I did his job. The people station.
Now, I knew it was coming, and it still shocked me again. Like,
Ooh. But he didn't do it to a man. That's what I don't get.
Right. Like, first it's about butt fucking her. Like, I don't know how you thought you were gonna be able to get away with that at that point, but you better call Donald Trump. Call Donald Trump. Call the Johnny. Like, why do you think anyone has his number to call him? Right? And let's pretend someone did. What did you think was gonna happen? Hey, we have a random Joe Blow supporter down here, and he wants to assert his Aryan nation racist rights, and he told us to call you. Oh, well, absolutely. Well, in that case, I'm going to put down my golf clubs and come right away. What did you think was going to happen, you freak? And then his response, when no one calls Donald Trump, is to haul off and slap some random woman across the face.
Dang.
That.
Now you were supposed to grab her by the crotch. That was it.
I'm saying, right? That's Trump tried to teach y'all how to flirt, and you just taking it too far. That's what happened. I don't know. Like I don't understand humans. It's just Trump, you ruined so many people. Okay. So up next, y'all ever go in? I don't know, maybe it was to run an errand, or maybe you went to the hairdressers or something. You come out, there's a ticket on your car. You know that feeling, right? You get inside your soul.
Yes.
All right. Well, this Karen also knows that feeling. So let's see what she did with it. This is a quickie, but let's see. Should the sound is on? Yeah.
But you should have told me when I parked outside that I was.
Ma'am, you have to read the
No,
street
but you're
sign.
inconsiderate. You could have told me.
Listen, ma'am, I can't take care of your ticket. Like, I'm really sorry that you
I
got.
actually forgot to give me a police one. Give me this, and I'm leaving.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, wait, hold on. But you left the ticket though. So you're gonna steal something of hers in compensation for the ticket, but then leave her the ticket still to pay for it? And then you left the ticket with all your information, so now she can call the cops and say, well, this woman just stole from me. I have it on video. Here's her name. It's on the ticket. Right?
Right. And here's a ticket. Why you at it?
Here's a ticket. Lady, like their Karens are just, their brains are slowly melting. I don't know.
Right. And I get it. She's upset because the money she spent, she had her bills all planned out. Now she got this ticket. It's like, man, it cut into my fun day at the spa, whatever she did, my services. But stealing something and leaving a ticket is not the answer.
Right. I understand, but it's not that woman's. Well, you're inconsiderate. How am I inconsiderate? Because your ass can't read a street sign. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? Like, you messed up, and that's her fault now. It's
right.
Amazing. Karen does not, like, she's allergic. That is literal allergic to accountability. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. Now this for me is not even so much about the Ken. It's about the way that the store clerk responds. And y'all, we gonna learn a little Indian cussing up in here. He says it in English, so we're gonna get the English translation, but it's actually very common Indian, like, insult, right? Like the way we have our insults. Y'all see it. I thought this was amazing. Okay.
Why you call me motherfucker? Because you're being a dog. You're being a dick. You what? Now don't run your ass, okay? Call 911. Yeah, I'm calling. Okay. I'm calling. Don't go out. Don't be a pussy. Don't be a pussy. Yeah. If your mother is fucked by one man, stay right here. Hey, I just paid one more goddamn.
Do y'all hear that? If your mother is fucked by one man, stay here.
You stay here.
Okay. That is the common Indian cussing. I'll let y'all know in a second. Okay.
I said, fuck you, son of a bitch. You are a son of a bitch, I said. I called you one more time. You know what, motherfucker? Yeah. I hope we drop an atomic bomb on your whole entire motherfucking existence of the Middle East. Fuck you. I hope every motherfucker goes to goddamn hell, because I swear to God, one day I'm going to be the motherfucker driving that motherfucking plane. Everybody's going to hell. You're not going to heaven. Thank you. Okay, you're not going to heaven. When I come to God, yeah, everybody's going to hell. Yeah, 301. Blue jeans and don't run, pussy. Don't run. I promise you, if anything comes to me and you, I will. Fuck you, you son of a bitch. Call your mom to suck my dick.
Now, if he said to the wrong person, there will be a fight, and I just don't see him winning. I just want to throw that out there.
I think Buddy called it right though. I think he knew, this guy's a whole clown. He's used to being able to just go in and insult people like me. Maybe he assumes we're undocumented. We don't want to, make waves, stuff like that. So, he called it right in this one. But okay. So when it comes to the Indian, if your mom only sleeps with one man, basically there's a popular Indian. It's cussing. It's like, a bastard, or, son of a bitch, or all of our cuss words, right? So it's a common Hindi insult. I'm going to try to say it properly. Ek baap ki aulad hai to, which literally translates to if you're born of one father. Or as the cashier in the video puts it, if your mom is fucked by one man. So basically, because we know in especially kind of in that area of the world, a woman's virtue is paramount. So your
Right.
mother's virtue, your mama's stuff is even more serious there. So you're shaming and goading someone. If you want to shame and goad someone into something, it's the best insult in the world, because if they walk away or they don't do whatever it is, right, then they're admitting their mother's a whore. And that they can't deal. So yeah, that's right, y'all. He brought some Hindi insult up me. He was like, I ain't playing with y'all anymore. You gonna sit there and shame me. He was just over that kid, and he called the police. So I don't know what happened before. Maybe there really was like some type of crime committed. So he did call the police though. So I don't know, but that was pretty hilarious to me.
Okay.
Now, this one I didn't actually even see, so I don't even know what happened. But it just was so intriguing to me, right? 2 guys spend hours catching lobsters, and a Karen throws their meal on the ground. Okay, let's see what happened.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that definitely was a Karen.
You are. How's it going? We're doing a catch and cook. We just caught some lobster and making some lobster rolls. Want to try it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll clean all this up. We'll get on out here. Alrighty. So we'll get on out. Okay. So, you want to see what they look like?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I
All right. Sounds good. Well, we're
grow
gonna.
up to eat one of those.
Oh, you don't like lobster?
It's not that I don't like it. It's that I don't eat animals.
Oh, you're vegan? Nice.
Oh.
Okay, well, we're just gonna empty this can, and then we'll head on out of here.
I didn't see you leave. You won't be able to
Okay.
Okay, I see. So, and I didn't find part 2, y'all, because I didn't even realize it was part 1. Okay, so basically it's a vegan Karen. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Vegan Karen is a whole problem. She is. Right? Because she thinks it's okay to ruin your food because she doesn't want to eat. Remember, what did I tell you?
Yeah.
They think animals are more important than humans. Like, they literally do not value human life over animal life. That's just what it is. So yeah. Now, Char, remind me, I found this really good little Walmart. It's like a 10-second thing, but I think it would be really good for your caption this series.
Okay.
So I'm gonna send that one to you. We're not gonna play it, but we are gonna play the Target one. Okay.
Okay.
She tripping.
There's Karen.
Throwing shit. She is tripping up in here.
That's Sir-ism.
Tripping.
You want to go to jail for a long time? Just fucking get hungry. I dare you!
No.
I dare you!
Yeah, you don't do that on me. Don't hit her. Walmart is crazy today. She's hungry. I'm gonna buy some food.
Sir, please.
I don't know how they saw her. She was incredible. Hangry is real. Okay, y'all? Hangry is a real thing. Did you hear her? Y'all want to go to jail? Don't get hungry. What? Like, no one even knows what the hell her problem was. She's just screaming. Why are you screaming, lady? Why are you screaming?
Right.
But my favorite part is the caption. This is why we go to Target. Like that. Okay. Right. Okay. Listen. For our pièce de résistance tonight, okay, we have a white student. Yeah.
Okay.
And a black supply teacher. Yeah. Let's see how that one worked out.
Okay.
Go, Karen, go. See, they start training them young. They do. Okay.
Yep. Uh-oh. Look at that walk.
Oh! Deal with me.
Uh-oh.
You touched me. I did not touch you.
Okay, let me get her purse, get her personal things. Oh, that's all you gonna do, Nicole?
No, I'm calling my mama. You ain't about to fuck me up, bitch.
Uh-oh.
Chill.
No, stop.
Get off my seat.
I need to hold the camera up now.
Right?
You want to talk to her because she's black and she's fucking pissing me off right now.
Wow.
Yep.
She's black.
I guess the answer was no.
Yeah.
Like, what? First,
that'll be a no.
Right?
Dang.
Yo, this kid hit her.
Right.
Hit this woman.
And then call the police.
No, she called her mom. She called her mama. I'm gonna call my mama. Cause you guys like blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay, cool. So then she calls her mom. I don't know what all her mama say on the other side, but she said, well, you talk to her because she's black and she pissing me off. Why was the black part relevant, lady?
Right.
Our little girl? The fact that she's black is what's pissing you off? Was that the issue?
That's the issue. It really
that was absolutely the issue. And what I think is amazing about that, right, is that someone's going to say something about her being young, teenage hormones, blah, blah, blah. I would love to see what would happen, okay, if a little black girl did the same thing to a white substitution. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, now, guys, I wanted to close off on an entertaining note. Okay, and so we got a couple of old Kens in a duel.
Oh,
I did say duel. Yes.
Oh no.
It's amazing. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. This waiter is going to be on your last nerve at first. All you're going to want him to do is figure out that he needs to move. Eventually he does, so it's going to be all right. But look over here. You're looking over here off into the distance. You're not like...
Okay.
Okay, because the waiter's kind of going to be standing in her way. But you'll see it.
Okay.
You pull a knife, you fucking pussy. You fucking pussy. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. You fucking pussy. Put the knife down. Put the knife down.
Cover your mouth. Cover me.
No, put the knife down.
Cover me. Someone calling the police. Cover me.
No.
Cover me.
Call the police, please.
Cover me.
Call the police right now.
Cover me. Come at me.
Get him out of here now.
Fuck
you. Fuck you.
Bust your head open.
Put the knife down, bitch.
Come
Get
on.
out of the phone.
Get
Put the knife down.
Come on. Come on.
I'm taking hold up. I'm just gonna take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture.
Take the picture.
Yeah, that's right.
Take the picture.
No, not pull the knife on you. Get out of here.
Sound like an old wrestler.
Right?
Where is it?
You don't have a knife.
Here.
Let's
Let's make this fair.
You're too fucking.
Here's the knife. Come on.
Come at me, dog.
Come at
Okay, warm it up.
I put it down. You ain't coming. I'm going to you're a pussy. You're a pussy. You're a pussy.
Yeah, I got your picture. We'll give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, run.
You're a tough guy. You're a tough guy. Yeah, I'm pulling nuts. You're a loudmouth fucking pussy. You're a loudmouth pussy.
Yeah.
Just a shame.
I just love that he walks up to the waitress like this. He's clearly a regular, right? And he just walks up to the waitress. It's like kisses her on the cheek. Okay, I'm out. Wait, what?
Right.
Where
It's
did
like,
that go?
nice to see you, girl. Right.
Just another night at the Outback Steakhouse, right? Like, remember, y'all, I told you the problem, people are missing what the problem is. The same thing that's happened at Astroworld, everything. You have people locked up, just like the dogs, right? You got to run them around. You got to run humans around too, right? You got to let them burn some testosterone and energy and frustration out, and no one's getting that out. So it's like, he would trust me, in that man's mind again, he was 18 and robust. He was ready to go. You see, he was bouncing on the toes and everything. He had the good boxers for him.
Okay, he was ready. I said, come on.
It was amazing. I thought it was just adorable, right? Because it's like on one side, like he's old school. So he's like an honor. There's the honor. He's not punching nobody who doesn't want to be punched. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wants you to come at him so he can stab you. Just give him the honor of coming at him so he can stab you. Like
Give
an
me an
honorable
artery.
man.
I want an artery.
Then he put down the knife. Punk, come at me, dog. Like, I thought it was amazing. It was so good.
That's the best.
I know.
But it was fun.
Right? It was amazing.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That was a way of closing out. I like it. Well, you guys, we're going to have a show on Friday. I know you guys probably be full of turkey, liquor, or something, or just enjoying the day off. Some people have the Friday off right after Thanksgiving. Some people don't. If you're one of those, hey, okay. But we'll have a show, and won't have it too. If you kind of miss it and you watch the replay, you probably won't say, "Man, I wish I was there because I want to say this, that, and that." So I'm gonna have it a little light. It'll be interesting, but it'll be a little lighter than the following Friday, because I think Ruby had a little request on this particular Friday. We're gonna put it together. But I'm not going to put right. I don't want to put what her request is because it's good. I don't want to put it on this Friday coming up. So hey, we'll have it a little light, just a little light.
All right, sounds good.
So you guys, you stay safe. Don't spend all your money on some food on people you don't like. But do enjoy yourself and be safe. And if I don't see you, happy holidays and all that good stuff. And until next week, peace.
Cheers, y'all.